Greetings, internet drinking buddies. My name is Link. The show's name is Chugging and Chugging, and on this episode, I'll be imbibing Icewine. Welcome back to the tub, everybody. Now, I recently got back from a trip to the Great White North. It was a little not white at the moment, in Quebec province in September. Quite lovely. And while I was there, being the intrepid explorer that I am, I asked around to try to find what is the Quebecese special alcohol. And the answer I got repeatedly was Icewine. So if you're not familiar with that, we're going to take a look at what it is in general. Let's take a closer look at the one I was able to purchase. We'll try it out and see how it tastes. So if you're unfamiliar with the concept of ice wine like I was, basically what you do is make it much like you would a normal wine where you get grapes and you ferment them. The key difference is the grapes are actually frozen on the vine before the fermenting occurs. What happens here is that the grape itself is frozen, but the sugars and whatnot inside the grape are not. So when you press those grapes in, you get this very concentrated, very sweet must, the sort of the precursor to wine. And that ends up being this much more sort of, I guess, a richer tasting thing. Now you can only obviously make this in places where grapes can freeze on the vine, such as Canada, which is actually the largest producer of all ice wine. Go figure. Let's talk about this ice wine in particular. I'm not going to be able to give you a whole lot of details because I just picked this up at the duty-free store as I was leaving, because we didn't really have time to go on like a vineyard tour or anything like that. However, I can tell you it was one of the cheaper ones at the duty-free store. Not that cheap though. About $60 Canadian for this here half bottle of 9.95% ABV wine. So we're getting a lesser bottle than we're used to. We're getting a lower concentration for wine. Wine's typically in that 14% range. And it's a higher price, and it is Canadian, but even with all of that, you get this magic number here, which is not, let's say, beating our $2 Chucks or Carlo Rossi's of the world. So what are we hoping to get out of it? Well, it is a very sweet white wine that we have chilled, so hopefully we're going to get this nice, sort of very desserty tasting thing that would be very good for an after-dinner meal, which is what I'm drinking it late at night here. So let's go ahead and open it up, pour it in the glass, and see what we think of it. Now, I need a corkscrew. I didn't even think about that. I'll be right back. Now we're back. A little bit of corkscrew trouble later, but we're all good now. Ready to drink? Might as well just go ahead and cheers to the, I don't know, Celsius? They like that in Canada. Here's the Celsius. Very, very sweet. I have that Arrested Development when he goes to look at the bird thing in my mind. I don't know what I expected. Obviously, they told me it was going to be very sweet, and that's what it is. It's probably too much of a glass for how sweet this is. It's very like. What's the appropriate sugary term for it? It's not quite sickeningly sweet. You know, you can still definitely drink it, like it. If you like sugar, it's very good. If you don't, obviously it's too much dessert wine. The fact that it has to be made from frozen grapes, like when it's probably late at night, when they like go out and they get the grapes and they press it and all that, harvest and press, and that sort of effort that goes into making something which just in general tastes pretty sweet. It seems a little bit complicated to me to get to that level, but, you know, works, obviously. I'm imagining this as like a tradition. It's been going on for centuries there, where they didn't have all these other manners of making very sweet wines, and this is like how they got it very concentrated. And you'd come to Montreal or Quebec or Ontario, somewhere in there, and you'd have this very ridiculously sweet dessert wine that, oh, we can grow it here. It's very nice. And it seems sort of outdated to me today, to just have this sort of thing. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's just so pricey, and that probably just comes with, like, legacy of tradition and all that. I don't really know how much better it could be, is the weird thing. Like, this is very good, very sweet, very nailing what it's going for. It's just so prohibitively expensive that I don't really get the point. Like, this is better than like a very sweet, Carlo Rossi type wine, right? But as like a guy who doesn't really get expensive wine, I don't really see the point of this costing how much more it costs. It seems kind of silly. Not really else to say about it. Incredibly sweet, very smooth, almost kind of sticky, I guess is the sugary word I was looking for. Sticky, sweet, good, way too expensive. That's what I have to say about Icewine. And I don't really think that there's a point to going above even what I find this price point to be ridiculous, because you can go much higher. So, don't really get it. Not for me. Even though I do love sweet things, I just wouldn't spend that much money on it again. But if you like this and you want to see me drink more sort of ridiculous region-specific beverages, I guess you could say, let me know in the comments if you have one that you think would be fun. I'll see if I'm either going there soon or if I can pick one up and try it out for you guys. But until then, please drink responsibly.